I'm Brenda.
And I'm Christy. We're two friends from high school who are connecting and reconnecting over music and memories.
Welcome to Normal Bias Podcast.
We're glad you're here.
Hey, y'all. Hey, it's Brenda and Christy. Welcome back to Normal Bias Podcast. And of course, we've been talking probably for almost an hour before we started recording.
50 minutes.
Yes, and there's just a lot of things on our hearts that we just kind of needed to say out loud. And I'm glad it's been said.
Don't worry, we're not breaking up. It's just we're towards the end of 2020. This episode will actually drop on my birthday. I'll be 46 on Friday. Today for y'all who are listening. So we just wanted to talk. We're heading into Christmas vacation and talking about college and all the things that are coming up in our lives next semester, because Brenda's in education and I was in education. I don't know how old I'll be when I stop thinking about things in terms of the school year. Like for me, the new year's always going to be August. My year starts at the end of the summer. So we just wanted to go into 2021 on the same page and thinking about things of the podcast. And one of the things that we were talking about is how often we're posting and kind of, are we enjoying all of the things that we're doing, and how can we make it kind of, we only started this in April. This is episode 53, which I am shocked that we have done 53 episodes in 8 months, less than 8 months. It's just crazy to me that we're this far in and went this fast and went this far. But for me, one of the things I've asked Brenda is, let's post maybe half as many episodes and worry less about labeling them a certain way or making sure we fit in X amount of guests a month or whatever, and just digging in where we want to dig in. Like in our friendship, the things that we enjoy the most are the silly things and the talking about things and learning things together and learning things about each other and learning about y'all. So anyway, so we might be asking y'all on our social media some more questions and stuff. I feel like we put so much effort into the episodes and the editing and the posting and stuff that in between, like the conversations about stuff on social media and stuff, I feel like some of that stuff I've let slide, and I would love to pick that up and actually have like conversations about the stuff that we're talking about. And I don't know. So we'll see. We might look a little bit different in January. All that to say, look the same, because I'll still be here. Hopefully that table will not be here. I told Brenda when the whole first 30 minutes we were talking, I kept looking at it. So this is by the end of 2021, this will be gone. No, by the end of 2020, not 2021. I just had a panic attack.
Yeah.
By the end of 2020.
And I definitely think the last 50 minutes have just been reflection. And for me, I went back to the very first conversation we had about what we wanted. We wanted it to be a get to, not a have to. Mm-hmm. And for me, it was getting to sit and talk to you, and the conversations we had were just fun and light. And I think with the election and Corona and the racial, issues that have,
life
mm-hmm. that has just been a part of our world in the last several months, it felt like the things that we were talking about are things I wanted to talk about. The silly stuff, the everyday stuff seemed to not appropriate. Mm-hmm. Maybe. And
it's a little frivolous sometimes. I feel that way. Sometimes I feel like the things that I spend a lot of my time thinking about, to the rest of the world, are pretty shallow. But when I think about it, I am truly more content and happier than 90% of the people I know. Mm-hmm. And it's not that I don't care about the big things. It's not that I don't think big thoughts, or I don't even know if I could articulate it, but I guess I try to stay in my lane. in a way. But I want to be aware of all the other lanes. I want to be aware of what people are thinking and feeling and talking about. I want to know what all that stuff is, but I don't always need my voice to be a part of their conversation, if that makes any sense. I don't know.
No, I think it makes absolute sense. So yeah, so I'm glad we had our pre-conversation.
So we were gonna, you know what? So, but this is good though, because maybe this means like we need to take this conversation to social media this week. But one of the things we were talking about is, well, I do still want to have the conversation that you, like the clip that you sent me, I do still want to talk about that because I think that's important as parents of seniors, and not just seniors. If you have a kid who's going to be 18 in 2 months. Like, when did they get this big? Like the whole sunrise sunset thing just keeps going through my head. Like, we are about to have adults. I don't even feel like an adult yet. How can our kids be adults? Like, that's not even right.
That's what I've told him.
Whew. So yeah, so I want to put a pin in that conversation. But one of the things that Brenda and I were talking about, and I've had 3 different coffees this past week. And this has kind of come up in different ways. And then you brought it up as we were talking about what topic we would talk about today is traditions and how they look different this year. But also, are we being present with our people? And one of the things that I've been trying to do this year is hold traditions loosely, because my kids are like me, and I am this way. Like, once we do it once and love it, like it's a tradition. So that's how, and Casey's that way and Noble's that way. And so this year we've been trying to really evaluate, like, why do we do what we do and what do we want to do? So we have done a lot less already this Christmas season, because like Casey decorated cookies today, but we didn't make it a big, like, everybody shut everything down and sat and helped and we griped at each other or anything, because she wanted to do it. So we let her do it. And I have so far have been so much happier with December. Part of it is because of the things that we haven't done, the things we haven't done yet or have intentionally let go. What about y'all? I mean, is it different this year?
I don't think so. But it's really hard to tell. So for us, so Matt's birthday's on the 4th.
So y'all don't start.
Right. So we usually have his birthday and celebrate him. And then I decorate for Christmas, bring out the tree and whatever. I guess for me, or for us, it really doesn't start until we get out of school. And I guess in the last, 4 or 5 years, it has been different in that if I'm not, like this year, I have them for Christmas. And so if I have them for Christmas, then I, we'll do the few things that we do that are tradition. But if they're with their dad for Christmas, then, probably don't do a whole lot of that.
Yeah.
But so really, I think that starting, towards the end of the week really starts our Christmas time, I guess. So I don't feel like it's different, but definitely feel like laid back. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not so much this, the last, I think it's when my dad passed away, it's like I'm not worrying about getting a present for everyone on my list. It's mm-hmm. more about I found this, I'd like to give you a present as I thought of you, or it's not about the presents. I do get my niece and nephews and my boys presents, but I don't stress myself out about finding something to give people. I mean, we all have more than there's nothing we need. Of course, there's always fun stuff you want, but
But I think too, one of the things, like, you're wired the way that I'm wired, the way that Mylin is wired, like the person I learned it from. Like, if you see something that makes you think of me in February, you'll buy it and give it to me in February. And the same thing if you see something else in June. It's when for me, I have loved that evolution of thought. Like, Christmas can be very much about the presents and can be about how much we have to spend, or we can let it be about that. But I would rather get a $5 gift from you in February, or June or whatever because you saw it and thought of me. I don't need a $20 from you in December because it's December. That
Yes.
that doesn't mean anything. It's just like you're like all the girls on your list got this. I don't want that. I'd rather have a free present or a cheap present than an expensive present that doesn't have anything to do with you and me. Does that make any sense?
No, it totally does.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So, and I have over the past few years, I've let go too of, I don't mind. We have a cousin who's a year younger than Noble, and I give her gift cards now. And the reason I do it is because she's like our kids. She has everything she needs and wants, but she doesn't always get to go shopping for herself. So to get a $20 gift card or whatever is a treat. And then on the years that we're able to actually go up there around her birthday or Christmas and James actually takes her shopping or we go as a family, like that is such a treat for her. So that's something that we need to figure out this year if we're going to like send it to her or actually make a trip up there to see him. But um, yeah, it's about being present with your people. And I love that that's kind of where our conversation started today. And one of the things I've really been thinking about is I had a conversation with one of my friends on Friday about all of the things that we do for our kids and for our families. And they don't really care about all of the things that I do and how busy I am. They care about the things that I do with them. And as like the world's best PTO mom for years, it was really humbling for me to realize that Casey didn't really care how many teacher luncheons I organized or how many whatevers I did or how many hours I was up there. What she cared about was the hours that I was shoulder to shoulder with her or doing stuff with her. And I was like, oh. And I think it's the same thing at Christmas. Like we can spend all of our energy decorating and doing and wrapping and stuff, or we can make it about our kids, about our people, whoever, and get them involved. And for me and probably for you, sometimes there's a trade-off, like maybe things aren't done the way that you pictured or I pictured or envisioned, but they're done and they did them and they feel like such a sense of accomplishment. Like the kids are wrapping presents this year. I'm even taping at the boxes of stuff for them and they've wrapped their own presents. I don't even know what they know. I don't think they know anything they wrapped. But I'm like, you know what? It's cool. And it turns out Casey's a better rapper than I am. So I'm like, here.
I love this idea. Haven't I thought of this? I am not.
And no, he raps just like me. He raps like it's like he's,
wrapping toilet paper around his hand.
It's just it's a lot of paper. It's a lot of like hers now have the really like the creased. Remember like at Foley's how they used to gift wrap upstairs,
Yes.
and it would be all creased and perfect folds.
You know who wraps the most beautiful packages is Dawn Cole.
Oh, she's such a paper pencil girl.
Yes, and you know what I love, and I started doing this after I received a present from her. She uses the double side tape, so there's not even tape. It's double sided. She's so thoughtful. And she puts so much I'm like, this is so beautiful. Just the wrapping.
Yeah, I imagine like in my head, Dawn probably uses like the perfect grosgrain ribbon. Like probably everything is just ideal. I did that, for 1 year. I was a friend of mine and I were a lot closer, and we hosted a gift wrap party because we had been watching like Martha Stewart and stuff. And so like with the boxwood sprigs and the rosemary, and she does antique. She had all this vintage wrapping paper and ribbons and stuff. And it was just fabulous. And then like the last few years since then, I've been back to the, like the same old paper, the 14 pieces of tape, no ribbon, barely a tag. Like we write in Sharpies on our presents now.
Yes, that's what I do.
So yeah.
Those tags always fall off. I don't know. I like the Sharpie. I don't think it's an excuse to use the 500 Sharpies that I have.
There's people, they're stepping out of the studio staring at me. I'm like, 2 more minutes.
Yes, 2 more minutes.
Maybe 1 more minute.
Maybe 1 more. But see, I already feel lighter. I already feel like a weight is lifted.
I don't know why, and I'm sorry to be distracted, but James, in case you're walking around outside like this, what are you looking at? What y'all are like? Oh, the sky is beautiful.
Sky's falling.
Okay. Well, I'll edit this piece out. Okay. So we'll be back at least next Wednesday with our Orangey Glad. But
Yeah, and then we're just going to take a break.
we're going to be quiet, be present.
Be quiet, be whatever our hearts are calling us to do in the next several weeks.
But for us, part of that looks like spending time together face to face, which I'm super excited about.
I am super excited about that too. I need that. If we ended Normal Bias podcast today, I still need to come see the Ferones once a month.
Come on.
I cannot let that go.
I do have to say, I was thinking this afternoon, I was sitting on the couch. So today I made myself not work. I didn't do a thing. I washed a dish and I didn't cook lunch. I heated food up and made it pretty. But I intentionally didn't do work. I haven't done any scrapbooking. I've just been in the room with the kids. And I was sitting on the couch and I was like, Brenda hasn't been in this room since we opened it up. You are going to die. You're going to die.
I know I am. And that's why when you said that, I just jumped on it. And that was part of the reason.
Yeah, y'all come on.
I don't know your space anymore.
Yeah, it's the whole different, whole difference. So we are today. So I think it's so funny that this is on my birthday, this conversation is out in the world on my birthday.
On your birthday.
And I had no idea. Brenda asked what we're doing this year for my birthday. And I was like, I don't know. It's always a little bit weird when it's on the last day of school because I would rather, Noble is such an extrovert. I would rather him hang out with his friends. I'm pretty easy. Back in the day, take me to dinner, take me to a movie. This year, maybe just pour me a good drink. I don't know. I don't need anything this year. I don't want anything. I don't know. Although I did see today on Amazon, did you know there's such a thing as scented flare pens?
What?
Blue. It was seriously mind blown moment. I sent it to Casey. I was like, I need these.
Yeah, you do. There's those Mr. Skechers. Remember those?
That's all Nolan writes with.
What?
Nolan, do you not know this? Nolan is my gnome.
I didn't know that.
I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. Okay. So here, let me. He wrote Casey a letter yesterday with his little Mr. Sketches. See, he only writes. His favorite is the smelly red one, but he only writes with Mr. Sketch markers.
I love Mr. Sketch markers.
Mm-hmm.
Takes me back how old I was when I got my first set. Remember the styrofoam? Do they still come in the styrofoam?
No, they're just in a thing. But that you used to put them back in and be like, whoop.
Yeah, and it'd make that styrofoam squeaky noise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. I'm getting a little bit anxious because I had dinner all ready to put on the stove, and I hear people clinking around, and I just want to go out there and say it's already all measured. I don't want that to be the last thing I say on Normal Bias podcast in 2020. What are you grateful for?
What am I grateful for? I was just sitting around looking outside the rain and sitting around looking at my house today. I'm just grateful to just still be here. I'm healthy and I'm in my house another year. A roof over my head, just those little things that are big things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so grateful of this opportunity to grow our friendship and to get to have a podcast because I always thought that would be cool.
Now you're a podcaster.
I'm a podcaster. What do you know? So yeah, I just have a lot of things that I totally am grateful for. So many just gifts that I received in 2020 when so many things went wrong. I feel like a lot more went right.
I feel that we were just talking about that. I agree. I'm not going to jump on that 2020 bandwagon because it's been a good year for us. And that's what I'm thankful for is I'm thankful for the four of us. I'm thankful for my little family, and I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful for what's to come. Casey's last full year at home. I know that once she goes to freshman orientation and spends her first night at college, that even though she'll come back to us for a little bit, that things will never really be the same. So I'm just trying to soak it all in, just be here and not worry so much about what's next or what anybody else is doing. And
what it looks like.
Yeah, it's good. It's small and it's good. And I think even like my mess over there, the scrapbooking, I sat down for a while yesterday and I got like 2 inches off the top of the tub. But all of that is evidence. I can get really down on like the little things and get frustrated and lose sight of what's important because I get so caught up in the details and wanting things my way. But when I look through that tub, what I see is a good life and good people and good memories. And I'm like, that's it. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yes. Yeah. So we'll say this. I happy birthday.
Thank you.
I am so glad to be celebrating with you.
Mm-hmm.
And last night, let's just end with this. Last night I watched It's a Wonderful Life. And, if you haven't watched that in a while, watch it. And just know that it really is a wonderful life if you are present and you just look at it.
There you go. That's done.
Done. Bye, y'all.
I just love you. Bye, you guys. Happy end of 2020. Happy all the things. Merry Christmas.
All the things.
So we love you guys. Thank you. All 2 of you. But
Yeah.
you guys, the 2 of y'all, we just had the 50-minute conversation we had was about being here with y'all and enjoying that. So the 4 of us heading into 2021, we're ready to have some fun.
Woo-hoo. I'm ready.
All right. Well, good night, Brenda. I will talk to you again, and then I'll see you soon this week.
I'll see you soon. Yay! Okay.
I love you. I'll see ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey y'all, are you still watching? Are you still listening?
We're so glad that you're still with us. If you want to connect online, we're at www.normalbiaspodcast.com, or you can find us on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube. And our very favorite, if we made you a mixtape, we'd put all those songs on our Spotify playlist for you.
All the things.